Hello guys, welcome to Alasdair Aquatics. I hope you're doing well. As you can see here in the UK, we've had a bit of snow and I thought it would make a great backdrop for the intro to this video. Now, as I'm sure you've seen in the title, I'm going to be reacting to and reviewing some early gameplay footage of the new Fishkeeper game, which is going to be out later this year on PC. So a quick bit of background, one of the developers over at Blinkclick Games, who's currently working on it, contacted me and said, would I be happy to make a video along the lines of me reacting to the early gameplay footage and maybe comparing it to some real life fish keeping. And I said, of course, that sounds amazing. I'm really interested about this game. And yeah, it's something I thought you guys would be interested too. So I've decided to make this quick reaction and review video. I'm going to be taking a look at the footage and sort of comparing it to what I do. You know, I've been keeping fish for well over 10 years and I've set up and maintained lots and lots of aquariums. So I do have some pretty good experience in it without sounding too arrogant. Yeah, I've been keeping fish for over 10 years, which when I think about it now, pretty crazy. So I'm going to take you guys along. If this is the first time for you guys viewing my channel, be sure to consider hitting that subscribe button. This channel mainly features content to do with fish keeping and planted aquariums, and if that's something you might be interested in, then be sure to check out some of my other videos. So let's check out this game. I'm really excited. Hope you are too. Let's check it out. Okay, wow, so straight off the bat, the graphics look amazing in the background of that room.
Today, I'll show you how to build an aquarium using the game.
I really like the little fish arrow cursor they've got there. That's cool. I need to get myself one of those. Okay, so it's got like Tamagotchi elements in the idea of these fish that you put in the tank you're going to want to keep alive. I get that. Makes sense. Sounds fun.
Let's choose a new aquarium. The second-hand one is cheaper, but
so there he is picking his tank. Yeah, exactly right. So sometimes if you get a second-hand tank, the edging that is done with silicone, that can degrade over time, and sometimes you can end up with leaks.
Have enough space to live. I think 280 liters will be enough for now.
Wow, yeah, 280 litre reef tank. That is wicked. So that's bigger than my big tank. That's a really great size to start off with for a reef tank.
Light fine sand is the best for marine aquariums, so I'm picking.
Wow, so yeah, it really looks like you can customize each sort of part of the tank. There he's putting in some white sand. That's normally what you'd use in a marine tank. You normally use aragonite sand.
Tank wall, but I think in this case, empty walls look better.
And there he has a choice of backgrounds that he's trying out.
So the fish can admire it while swimming.
Yeah, nice view behind the window. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd agree with that. So I think if you had a tank in the middle of the room on a table like that, just leave it blank. You know, let yourself view it from all sides rather than put a background on it. Yeah, that makes sense. And there he is adding in a heater. Yep, so all the reef tank fish that you keep in the hobby, they're going to want to be kept around 78, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So they come from more tropical waters. And he's just added in a thermometer there to keep a tab on the temperature. That's always a wise decision. Classic shipwreck. I've definitely had a few tanks in the past where I've put a shipwreck in there, and I know it's got to be one of the most popular ornaments for any fish tank. It's got to be. And a treasure chest. Yeah, classic choices. Okay.
Other essential elements of a marine fish tank are rocks. We can buy
okay, so there he is adding in some rock.
Living on them. However, over time, they can become living rocks with corals, algae, and other organisms that can live on them.
Yeah,
make sure you care
exactly right. So a lot of the time in the hobby, I personally like to start off my reef tanks using it's called dry rock or base rock, where you basically just start off with a very porous rock, and you can add beneficial bacteria to the tank, and as it cycles over time, it becomes live rock. You have lots of algae and good bacteria that live on there and help keep the water quality good. Yeah, that's exactly right. And here he's adding in a variety of coral.
We have to remember though that the requirements of the environment for each of them may differ.
Yeah, so some coral are going to want different lighting requirements, different flow, things like that. So yeah, no, it's looking pretty interesting, pretty good so far. Wow, he's put lots of coral in there. That's what I like to see in a reef tank.
There are not many species of saltwater plants, so I will choose turtle grass and algae.
Yeah, exactly right. So most of the sort of greenery or plants that you see in a reef tank in real life, they're going to be macroalgae, and I have heard of turtle grass as well. So that's exactly right. And yeah, there's not loads of options out there, but there are quite a few nice looking macroalgae that you can add to a saltwater tank. And yeah, they were right in saying before, if you add a freshwater plant to a saltwater tank, of course it's going to die. It's not going to do well. Freshwater plants really only going to do well in the right requirements in a freshwater tank.
I need to buy a cover for the tank. That way I can avoid
Yep, so they're added on a lid there. That's going to stop any fish jumping out. Unfortunately, that is something that does happen if you try and have a tank without a lid. Even fish that aren't necessarily known as jumpers, that can happen. And yeah, I think they were mentioning about circulation, so that's a real key factor to having a reef tank. You know, you're going to want to keep that water moving around sort of into the rock, that live rock, and that's going to help process ammonia and nitrite in your tank and keep the water healthy for your fish. And it looks like there's a great selection of fish to add to this virtual tank, lots of different species. Wow, so it's still in development. It's going to continue to expand. He's added in some fish there. It's looking great, looking cool.
Please add the game to your wish list on Steam.
Wow, guys, that was great. Yeah, so be sure to check out those guys on Steam, add them to your wish list if this is something that looks interesting. I think it looks really cool, really fun way to get into the fish keeping hobby. Wicked. Okay, so I really enjoyed reviewing and reacting to that early gameplay footage of the Fishkeeper game. I'm really excited for it to be released later this year. If you are too, be sure to head over to Steam, add them to your wish list and check them out. You know, maybe do a bit more research into them yourself. Now, I think this game is going to appeal to a huge, vast audience of people. I think it's going to appeal to people who, like me, who are already really into the fish keeping hobby. I think it's also going to appeal to some of those people who are maybe got a small tank and are thinking about upgrading to a bigger tank, and maybe this game is going to tie them over until they get around to it. And I think this could also act as a great sort of foot in the doorway for people who are thinking about getting into the fish keeping hobby. Now, I am always happy to sort of promote things to do with the fish keeping hobby. I think it's a great hobby, and I think we should all work as a community together. I think there's a great group of people out there, and you know, I'm part of so many forums, and you know, there's a real great community of people out there. And if you're watching and you're into fish, then you're probably one of them too. So a big thank you. And yeah, leave us some sort of ideas in the comments. What do you guys think about this game? Are you excited to play it? Let me know. I'm sure the other viewers are going to be really interested to see as well. And if you enjoyed this video, you're looking to maybe watch some more content to do with fish keeping, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to check out the game when it comes out later this year, and take it easy. Okay guys, bye.